Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyeni, that's IRYENI, and you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 144 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. So let's just jump straight into it. Starting off at our number 5 spot, we have the Wait Incoming of Enemies mod. Now the mod page reads that it's very dangerous to wait outside without any preparation at all. If you were to wait outside of a city, enemies will appear with a certain probability. And as the level of the player increases, the number of enemies that come to find you and the strength of them will increase as well. It's also a lot more difficult now to recover health by waiting, and no enemies will spawn on you if you are sitting in a chair. So if you want to wait safely, sit on a chair and then wait. Now this mod changes a very small aspect of the game where you could just abuse the waiting system, making it so if you were outside of combat, you could just wait and immediately get all your health back. This mod makes it way harder to do that, so you will have to be inside of a city or in a chair if you want to wait safely now. And I think it's a lot more realistic and immersive as well, because you have countless people that are constantly looking for your location. So if you were spending, 6-7 hours at a time just standing there motionless outside a Whiterun, someone would be bound to find you and recognize you, and if it's a bandit then he's going to attack you. So that's the sense of realism that comes along with this mod, so you won't be able to just stand there and wait outside of cities for hours and hours without having to suffer consequences of fighting some bandits from time to time. And that's definitely why this mod comes in at our number 5 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Wait Incoming of Enemies mod. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Skyrim Outfitters Face Coverings mod. Now the mod page reads, tired of your face feeling cold? Skyrim Outfitters is here to help. With 8 different face masks and 24 styles of scarves, now you can stay warm in the frigid Skyrim weather. Simply create your face coverings pattern book at the tanning rack, as you can see that's what I'm doing right now, and from there you can choose the right style for you. Doesn't matter if you're a Nord, Breton, Orc, Khajiit, or Argonian, we have masks for you. That's right, 100% Mare and Bee support. Humans too. We feature all the colors of black, blue, royal, gray, forest green, white, and red. So come on down and get your warmth on. It's also important to note that some armor clipping can happen because meshes are static and cannot bend into armor, so you'll have to play around with the styles that you like, and for the first time, orcs will now have a proper face mask, as well as Argonians and Khajiits that can enjoy a fully covered face. Face masks also take up the slot 45, which is the same as nose rings, otherwise they would appear outside of the mask, and the scarves will take up slot 48, so you can wear a face mask and a scarf at the same time. Now to actually make these scarves for yourself, you can simply go to the tanning rack and create your patterns book, as I said before, and then the recipes for the masks and scarves will then open up. You can also find a book that's added to your inventory that injects scarves and or masks into the NPC's inventories that you can find. If you decide to add this mid-playthrough, you will find that it can take anywhere from 3 to 30 days before seeing other NPCs wear the scarves and masks. I really like this mod because I was an original fan of the regular face masks mod, and this just greatly enhances that, making way more face coverings and adding scarves as well, so it's definitely an upgrade from the mod that we once had. And that's definitely why this mod comes in at our number 4 spot, so I'd recommend downloading the Skyrim Outfitters Face Coverings mod. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the Standalone HD Steel Plate Variants mod. Now the mod page reads, in an attempt to add a bit of variety to Skyrim, I've created several variations of the vanilla steel plate armor. These have been added to level lists, made craftable, placed on NPCs, or, in some cases, all 3. They've been created with HD textures, such as the 2K resolution for the armor and 1K for the rest, based on the official HD texture pack. This mod also adds a couple NPCs here and there. Now when it comes to the content that is currently in this mod and the armors that are available to create and use, we have the bronze plate armor for a more ornate look, and then there's the steel and gilded plate armor, which, despite its name, it's more yellowish than gold in its current release. Then we have the red steel armor, which is perhaps a bit too flashy, but if you like being flashy, definitely an armor set to check out. And then the painted red steel plate armor. We also have the Whiterun themed plate armor and worn variants such as bronze, gilded, and regular armor that have their own textures. We then have the jet black armor along with the rusted regular steel plate armor, and white plate armor that was intended to look like the armor has a coat of snow in addition to the paint on it. We also have the black and white plate armor and black and gold details variants, along with alternate black and white armors and Stormcloak variants and Imperial variants as well. There's also a winter variant which looks very similar to the white plate armor, it's just a lot more white. Now where to actually find these armors in-game is the bronze, gilded, black, white, black and white, and black and gold, along with the red and steel armor, can be crafted in an identical manner to the regular armor. The red plated armor can be crafted from the regular plate armor, and the worn and rusted variants along with the bronze, gilded, white, and black armors have been added to the leveled lists, and some NPCs will also be wearing them. The Whiterun armor variant can be found on some new NPCs, and Balgriff's personal bodyguards have them in Whiterun. Now the faction variants can be crafted after completing the Jagged Crown for your preferred faction. It can also be found on camp commanders. I truly love this mod because it adds some variety to the steel-plated armor, which is one of my favorite looking armor sets in the game next to the Elven armor, and that's definitely why this mod comes in at a number 3 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Standalone HD Steel Plate Variants mod and giving it a try for yourself. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have an amazing mod called Epic Crab's Lawbringer Plus. Now this mod is a merged port carefully put together of Epic Crab's open permission mods such as Lawbringer, Serenity, Halted Steam Mine, Tactical Val Theme, and the Radiant Exclusions mod. So what this mod does in a short summary is allow you to take over a location for a faction of your choice by clearing all the enemies out and then replacing the initial banner with the faction that you wish to take control of. There's all the holds, there's the Stormcloaks, Imperials, Greymane, House Battleborn, and the Forsworn, which are available options to put control of these areas. The list of these areas is also featured on the mod page, such as Bannermist Tower, Bleak Falls Tower, Bleakwind Bluff, Cradlestone Tower, Dragon Bridge Overlook, then there's the Four Skull Lookouts, Halted Steam Mine, Lost Valley Redoubt, Nilheim, Pinfall Bridge, the Rift Watchtower, Shores Watchtower, Silent Moon Camp, Snow Point Beacon, and Valtheim Keep. Now depending on your location and the area that you're trying to take over will determine what factions will be able to take the location. For example, Whiterun won't be able to take a location inside the Rift because it wouldn't really make much sense that way. Silent Moon's Camp and Valtheim Keep are now completely overhauled and heavily fortified places now, so they'll be a challenge to take over. And another big change is the bandits at Valtheim Keep will try to extort you for money first and not attack on sight. There's also a small home in Valtheim once it's taken over. Now I absolutely love this mod because it gives you more of an incentive to go out and actually explore these locations and take them over for the faction that you wish to choose and actually follow throughout your entire playthrough. And I really love that because the mod only comes in at 6.04 megabytes and it adds so much into the game and so much more to do, as well as heavily fortifying some of the other places and giving you much more of a challenge in taking over some of these areas. So being able to choose what faction you want to own each location in the game, and hopefully this mod will expand on more locations in the future, it just lines up for a great mod overall, and it's very easy to add into your load order because of its small size. And that's definitely why it comes in at a number 2 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading Epic Crab's Lawbringer Plus mod. Coming in at our number 1 spot, we have the Great Immersion Overhaul. This is a huge gameplay overhaul that aims to make your Skyrim experience more interesting, exciting, immersive, challenging, realistic, and lore-friendly, as well as balanced as possible. There have been tons and tons of carefully thought out, well-balanced, and well-tested changes to many different areas of the game to create a new level of depth and detail that has not yet been experienced before. Note that this is meant as an all-in-one mod, and it's not compatible with other large gameplay overhauls and other gameplay changing mods, for the simple reason that they try to do the same thing, and therefore conflict with each other. This means that the Creation Club survival mode will not work. However, there is another survival version of this mod with sleep and hunger mechanics added, and also Frostfall and Eye Need should work fine with this mod. It's also important to note that this mod requires a new start in order for all these systems to work properly. Now when it comes to the areas that this has actually changed, it's changed hundreds and hundreds of things in the game, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a short version from the mod page, that the Great Immersion Overhaul is a deadly, intense, and fast-paced combat system with a reworked stamina system. There's also a reworked health system and the ability to evade attacks and an injury system. Combat will now require skill and timing to master. There's also a completely redone economy system with realistic prices that makes gold very important in the game, as well as a new selling and buying ratio that makes the economy more dynamic and interesting. Fast travel is now disabled with this mod, so you'll now need to spend money on a horse or a carriage to get around faster. Next up, there's a completely reworked and expanded crafting system that's a lot more realistic, so you will now need to buy a blacksmith's hammer to smith metal, and you can now actually make gold off of the things that you craft. There's also new racial stats and abilities and powers that are 100% lore friendly and make each race stand out and feel unique. Carry weight has also been reduced so it actually makes sense now, which will incentivize you to only carry around what you need. Loot has also been redone so it's now much more rare. This encourages you to look for the most valuable items to pick up rather than mindlessly picking up everything. This mod also reworks the current stealth system with smarter enemy AI. NPCs will now search for you a lot longer and they will search over a much larger area, making stealth more challenging and fun. There's also new and reworked perk trees that add several levels of depth and enables you to properly shape and flesh out your character. And then tons and tons of smaller changes that improve overall immersion, balance, and realism. So if you guys are up for the challenge and want a more realistic and difficult Skyrim to play, then the Great Immersion Overhaul is definitely the mod for you, and that's definitely why it comes in at our number 1 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading the Great Immersion Overhaul mod. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions to there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.